Hello, old school traveler. The old school traveler's back again. All you old school travelers and people who like this kind of information. Here's the deal, and I'm going to get some things straight. I'm going to tell you who should move to Panama. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you straight the way it is. It's just my view and what I've seen, and not necessarily what you've seen. It's just my view of who should go to Panama. First of all, let's get something straight right now. Some of you are in situations that I have never been in and will never be in. There's some things in my life that I have accepted and I learned to live with them. And one of those things is taxes. I know that I'm going to be in a high tax bracket the rest of my life, no matter what I do. That's just life. That's a good problem to have. Also, it's a stressful problem to have if you don't want to give it all to the government. But it is what it is. Now, let me tell you who should move to Panama. If you fat, you should move to Panama. Because you know why? When you get off that plane, the Panamanians are going to let you know you're fat. All you got to do is look around. Whatever your mirror didn't tell you, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. So don't sit there and say, because I don't have a scale in my bathroom, I didn't gain weight. Over the years, yes, you did. Over the years, your body just didn't tell you some things. And if it did, you just didn't listen. Now, also, if you're skinny, because Panama will keep you in shape, because you're going to walk, you're going to do things that you don't do at home. No. You're going to stay skinny. You're going to sit there and you're going to be like me. People say, well, sometimes fat is hereditary. Eating is hereditary. Eating too much is not hereditary. That's just called greedy and laziness. It's just what it is. Now, some people go there and they say, well, I want to get this nice home for $750 a month or $1,000 a month. That's fine if your budget is just that big. I'm not going to tell somebody they should not get a place for $750 a month if that's all they can afford or if that's all they want to spend. All I can tell you, I'm not going to be your neighbor. No. That's not me. No. I'm a federal retiree. I get 100% disability. I also get Social Security. And guess what? I got investments that I have spent the last 45 years doing something called compounding interest. And when you do $25,000 a year for 45 years, you do the math. I did not work that long in life to give it away. No. Pay for college for my kid. Get my nieces pay for, give them some money, a lot of money. Yeah, but I'm going to spend as much as I can before I go. I don't know when I'm going to go, but I'm going to go with a smile on my face. That's just the way it's going to be. Some of you say, hey, I'm retired. This is all I get per month. Well, you know what? If you got to add your money to your wife's money, to your mother-in-law's money, to your son's newspaper route, just to get to $1,000 a month, maybe you shouldn't go. No, you shouldn't go. You should consider staying in your house. I don't even mean going to McDonald's, let alone Panama. You shouldn't go. Just stay right there and figure it all out. And if you don't like the way America's run, ain't no problem. Move somewhere else. Because see, I tell everybody up front, I'm not a budget traveler. I'm an old school traveler. I don't really have a budget. I spend, when the credit card bills come in, I'll figure it out. But I know that they're going to get paid in full. That's just me. I'm not going there and thinking that, it'd have been cheaper if I would have moved my mobile home to Panama. No, not me. I'm living the exact same lifestyle, and I'm one of the few people who retired and my income went up. But what was most important, my tax-free part went up a lot. Yes. So I'm in a dream world, and I'm going to live my life to the fullest. I'm having my happiest days, and I'm not worried about what nobody thinks because nobody is giving me money but myself. So the only person who's got to be happy, me and the wife. And we're both retired federal employees. So, we get two of a lot of good things. Yes, we do. And we're going to spend twice as much because we get twice as much. Now, I'm not against those who are saying, hey, I'm retired, I'm on a fixed income. Well, you know what? Go for it. Because a lot of people who deciding to move to Panama, based on what I've seen, they already got one foot in the grave. I've already seen that. They got one foot in the grave already. I don't know what to tell you people. Because see, I don't worry about Medicare. Insurance, medical insurance. I don't worry about them. Those are not my problems. Those are y'all problems, none of mine. So I don't go there asking, do you have this? No, I did my research. I did my homework. When I was there, I knew I had no issues, no problems. Matter of fact, I have never been to a hospital in Panama to even ask what they take, because all that information is online in a lot of different places. And some people still ask every single time, do they take A, B, C, and D? Well, you know what? If you got to ask all those damn kind of questions, maybe you shouldn't go. It's not Panama problem if you come with a medical problem. No, it's not their problem if your insurance don't cover you outside the country. Oh, well, But people, they focus on some things that I'm thinking, why are you focusing on that? What you need to make sure is that you got enough damn money to be able to afford a place to live at. You think you're gonna get off a plane and go straight to the hospital? No. No country's gonna do that. You gotta have some resources of your own too. And so when I retired, I knew I was ready to retire. So I don't have a problem knowing what I gotta pay or put up with to get the health care I want. But at the same time, I know I can afford to just get on a plane and come right back to the States, and no problem at all. And when I travel first class because I like space and luxury. Now, you get some people who claim they got an income, they're doing well, they're doing all this, they're doing all that. Some people, Panama's for you if you're doing all that. But most people are lying. When you put up a YouTube video every 10 minutes and the YouTube video is 9.5 minutes long, that's your job. That's your job. You can say what you want to say, and then you say, oh, I got a Patreon, and you're begging for money. In other words, you left before you should have left. You left unprepared. But Panama's for you because there are people, I'm not going to call them idiots. Yeah, they are, who are going to pay Patreon to get information that is readily available free. There are people who are going to do all that. You're not going to know more about Panama than a Panamanian who's been there their entire lives. No matter, you got people who think that they know more about George Washington than George Washington does. Yeah, you got people like that. You got a bunch of them in Panama. But when people say, oh, I don't need the money from YouTube, I can give a damn less. I've never got paid from YouTube. I turned down endorsing products. I did all that because I say what I want. It doesn't matter to me who listens. And like I said before, it can be 1 subscriber or 1 billion. What I post is for my family. I'm talking about my family that I had before I knew any of you. Now, I'm not saying that, family ain't always blood. It's people you want to inform what's going on in your life without making 150 different phone calls. Yep, I don't do none of that. I don't text all day because I got an active lifestyle that I manages every single day. I get up and I do things. I walk every day. Let's talk about that. A lot of people say when I get to whatever country I'm going to move to, say Panama, like we're talking about, they claim that they're going to go from being fat and lazy to being active and doing physical exercise. That's like somebody saying, I know I cheated for 40, 50, 60 years, but guess what, honey? Today I'm going to stop cheating. That's a lie. They just got better at hiding it. But guess what? When it's weight, you really can't hide it. No, you can't hide weight. Everybody sees it. And when you're walking in the park and everyone's staring at you because they see something they haven't saw before or in a long time. And generally that's you. Now let's talk about other things in Panama. Some people want to live on a very, very low budget. I get that. I understand that. Because they want to leave a legacy for their kids, grandkids, whatever. And normally when you leave legacies, it's got something to do with money. Well, guess what? I ain't leaving shit for my son. No. I have invested for him, paid for his college, put him through private schools. Same thing with my nieces. Now, they will get something because nobody can spend down to zero unless you go in debt. They will get something. But the bottom line is, I'm not going to sacrifice my lifestyle so he can have a lifestyle that he didn't work for. Or they can have a lifestyle they didn't work for. Hell no. I'm not doing that. People say, don't you love your kid? Money ain't got nothing to do with love. No, no, no. Ask a prostitute. Ain't got nothing to do with love. Yes. So I believe that what my son is going to get, he already knows. And anything beyond that, he knows I'm trying to go through it as quick as possible with his mother. And he knows that he'll be all right. Young people think they know everything. Let them figure it out. But he knows what he's going to get, and he has to adapt his lifestyle to that. He's had a financial planner since he was 19. I got my first financial planner when I was 21. And I sacrificed a lot to get where I am today. And I did not do a lot of things when I was young because I knew that I could do them when I got older if I lived that long. I'm here. I lived that long. And boy, am I busy trying to figure out how to spend the hell out of it. Every single day. I wake up saying, what can I buy that I really don't need? Because everything I need, I already have. So what do I want that I don't need that don't look too stupid? That's how I wake up every single day. Now, so those who want to leave a legacy, you want to work your whole life for somebody else. I worked my whole life for somebody else. That was called Uncle Sam. Whether it was federal government, whether it was military, but that's not what I'm talking about. I gave him a lot of taxes over the years, a lot. And so now everything I got left is working for me. I paid him off, did what I had to do. Now it's working for me. And as far as anybody beyond that, oh well, your bad luck, my good luck. Now, a lot of people sit around and some of the houses they want them for certain reasons. I really don't mind a high rise, but at the same time, I don't have to have the top floor, only if I'm in a hotel, because I'm not going to be there very, very long. But some people cannot handle houses with steps because of their medical condition. They can't handle houses with steps. They can't walk uphill. And I get all that. That ain't me. I run uphill. Because see, I've been running since I was like about 16 years old. And me and the wife walks every single day. Yep. At least 3 to 4 miles. And sometimes we've been to national parks where we walk 10, 12 miles in a day and didn't even notice it. We're not going to Panama to live and wait to die. Some people, 80 years old. Well, I don't know how much longer I got left. So why in the hell are you going to Panama? Why are you going to Panama? If you don't know how long you got left, and I'm not saying you know the exact date unless you commit suicide, but you don't know the exact date. But you can tell by your health condition whether I got another 5 or 10 years left in this body or whether I got another 5 or 10 minutes left in this body. If not, go to your doctor. And when he puts you on the scale, you can look down too. Well, some of you can't see the scale for your stomach in a way. Your stomach might be in the way. But he'll tell you the truth. He will tell you the truth. And this is another thing about Panama that I noticed with a lot of people. They go there looking for Mr. Right or Miss Right. Now, most of them been married a few times because they're in their 70s and 80s. I only been married once. Same person, and I'm going to die with that person. But a lot of people, if you've been married 2, 3, 4, 5 times, obviously you got a problem with judgment. Maybe it's your own judgment. Or maybe you're just good at picking the wrong numbers. That's what gamblers do. That's why they don't have anything for the most part. They are good at picking the wrong person, the wrong numbers, wrong everything. But at some point, you got to tell yourself, this is not what I'm good at. Marriage is not what I'm good at. Just date until the day you die. Just date. People say, well, the benefits aren't the same. Well, you don't deserve any benefits if you've been doing it wrong your whole damn life. You don't deserve any damn benefits. So my whole point is that Panama is for everybody. Let's get it straight. But I'm going to tell you who it's not for. And this is just telling the way it is. I think it's for everybody. But if you got a wheelchair, it ain't for you. I just didn't see any wheelchairs. It's not like Walmart. You go in there and half the people on a scooter. That's why I don't go to Walmart. Now, the Target, you got people on scooters, just not as many, and they're not in your way. But Panama is just not a place for a major disability where you can't get out of bed or you can't go to the bathroom by yourself. That's just not Panama. And a lot of people I saw in Panama, foreigners, they seemed like they were mobile. But I've also heard people who have never been and say, well, Panama uses the dollar. Panama they got good health care. They talk about all the virtues of why they should go to Panama. And I'm looking at them and talking to them and saying, you ain't gonna like it being in a wheelchair because I didn't see any scooters there. And I think you might have a problem. You think I might have a problem? Yeah, you ate too damn much. Or you got a problem that maybe it could have been solved if you didn't continue pounding on weight. And people say, well, you talk about weight a lot. Weight is something that you can control. If you're born in the ghetto and poor, you can't control that. I know. But I know that bad diets, not exercising, and not doing what the doctors say do, ain't healthy for you. Because see, doctors don't make money when you die. No, just a mortician. Doctors get paid trying to keep you alive. And if you don't listen to them, well, you telling the doctor that you prefer death over living. Because health is wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but if you ain't got no time to spend it, why even have it? Yeah, that's how it works. And a lot of you say, I'm going to change all this. Panama got natural vegetables, natural fruit. Fruits and vegetables in America is not what made you fat. No. Now, don't get me wrong. You got things like GMA or GMO and all. You got all this other crap. But I don't care where you go. If you overeat, I don't care where you live at. You're going to get fat unless you exercise it all off. So if you don't exercise in the States, you're not going to exercise in Panama. Now, you may lose some weight, but that's water weight that the sun is burning out of your ass because the sun is making you sweat all that out. It's been there all along. You just have never decided to be in this kind of heat and humidity, which doesn't bother me at all. Let me tell you another thing too. When people tell you the Panama heat, me and my wife didn't have no problem adjusting on the day we got here. No problems at all. Stayed here 3 weeks. It was never, I'm dehydrated, I'm tired. No, because we lived in 9 different countries around the world. Panama ain't the hottest. I live in Singapore. I lived in Malaysia. That's heat. When it's all under the cloud for days in a row and it's 100 degrees, 110 degrees. That's heat. But if you exercise and stay hydrated, like it's a thing called, drinking water. Yeah, drinking water. But you can't go out and have full meals, 4 or 5 full meals and a keg of beer every night and say, I don't understand why my body can't adjust to this heat. Well, you ain't adjusting to the heat. You're doing it, eating the same thing you were back in the States. So you got to take pride in yourself. You got to say, okay, some people want to say you should join these Panamanian face groups. I'm not joining anything. I don't even do Facebook because I'm not running behind the money. Never need it, never will need it. I'm not doing that. I don't want to be around all expats. I don't want to go to a potluck dinner and I got oxtails and tuna casserole. I don't want to do that. I want some Panamanian food. So there are just things that I do to make sure that I'm prepared for wherever I go. And living in 9 different countries, from ones that you don't see the sun for days and ones that you don't see the night for days. It is just what it is. But it's not anybody's fault for anybody's condition but themselves. The one thing you can't control is birth. Where you're born, who your parents are, you can't control that. So I'm not going to blame that on you, even though I can look at some parents and say they should have never had kids. Yeah, I look at some and say they should have never had kids because that girl is going to have a life of misery. Unfortunately, they don't know it. They would never know it because they're living in misery and it looks normal to them. Nada. And like I said, I ain't trying to leave no legacy for nobody. Now, I'm going to make it very clear. I'm not a budget traveler. I'm going to Panama to buy a place, which I'm in the process of doing now, just so I can use it for a landing spot to travel around other places in the world. I have no intentions of being in Panama 12 months out of the year. Nope. I'm going to buy a place and be there maybe 3 months out of the year. Their family can use it. It's open to them. But it's not my goal because I'm a traveler. I'm not going there to set up a permanent homestead, even though I may buy a permanent house. But it's not my goal. So all of you who think that's my goal, nah. That's why I like Munich, because I can travel to other places that I want to go to because I want to see as much as my eyes can see before the day I go. And if I go to Munich, I can jump all around Europe. And in Panama, I can jump all around Central and South America. And I'm happy doing that. But that costs money. That's why I'm not a budget traveler. And nothing wrong with those who are on. You can only do what your budget allows you to do. And if you made poor decisions when you were younger, now you're paying for it. If you made the right decision when you're younger, now you're enjoying it. And I'm enjoying the hell out of mine. I don't have a ring full of fingers, meaning I've been married 5, 3, 4 times. No, it's not me. I knew enough to know that the first one didn't work. There was a good chance the second, third, and fourth was not going to work either. And I knew with every divorce, there's a cost to it. And I was not willing to pay that cost but one time. And I'm still in that one-time zone. That's just me. Now, a lot of you say, well, you don't know, like, maybe it's the wrong one. Maybe you were the wrong one. That's what she's telling her friends. And you're telling your friends she was the wrong one. But one of you two definitely knew it was a match from hell from day one. One of you two knew that. So, like I said, I would never tell somebody a place is not for them outside of wheelchairs in Panama. Now, you can come here with a wheelchair in Panama, and let's just tell you what it is. Most people in wheelchairs are overweight. Some reason they don't think they got anything to do with them needing a wheelchair. And when I see them, I think it's got everything with them needing a wheelchair. And, you can make any excuses you want to about why this person is overweight or this person is not in good health. You can say a whole lot of things. But at the same time, I always believe and still believe there was something along the lines that they could have controlled. Even if you say, oh, he got in a car accident. Maybe he shouldn't have been out 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get a beer. Maybe he should have just said, I'll suck it up until tomorrow. I mean, there are things, like I said, there's 2 ways here. There's 2 sides to every story, 2 ways looking at other things. It's like me. I don't go out when it's snowing. No, I don't. Whatever I need, I just got to need until tomorrow or until the snow goes away. I see people zooming around. Oh, I've been driving in snow. Oh, I can drive in snow, but I don't have to. No, that's just me. And when I worked, they say we worked today and snowing, vacation day. And I lived in 9 different countries, and in all of them, I had some that they had monsoons for rain. I lived in Nebraska where twisters were dangerous because they come out of nowhere. You see a little spot of black cloud, it's miles away, or at least you think it is, and all within a couple of seconds, it's right on top of you. But like I said, people can't tell you how you're going to adapt and adjust to another country. That's on you. When people told me about how hot Panama, well, guess what? I came down to Panama when I was in the military, and I was in the Canal Zone. So I knew what the weather was like already. And I told my wife, let's go slowly. Mexico, Guatemala, Costa Rica, now Panama. We built up our endurance, or she built hers up, not a problem. But it wasn't a lot of work because she had been in Florida before. I lived in Florida. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Panama is no different. Not only that, I've been to almost the North Pole, Nome, Alaska, Fairbanks, Alaska, and I've been almost to the equator in Colombia. So I've had extremes everywhere. But those people who are not in shape, not in conditioning, yes, for them, that's an extreme change. But look at them, though. A lot of them can lose a lot of pounds. They can lose some weight. They can exercise more. The quicker you get acclimated to a new place, the easier it is and the more you enjoy it. So this is the old school traveler telling everybody, Panama is for you. So don't have someone tell you who ain't native Panamanian and don't know all the rules and laws that it's not for you. But people will tell you it's not for you, and they have no clue about you. Tell them to go to hell and tell them the old school traveler to, you know what? Just because you want to live in a different lifestyle, and like I tell everybody, Panama's for everybody. Now, if you're in a wheelchair and you in one of these like El Valle de Antioquia, which is all flat and you got sidewalks, that's the city for you. Panama City is not. That's what they should tell you. You may like this city more than this city because every city is different and everybody wants to live a different way. I don't care about it being 70 to 75 every day. No, I care about, is there a major airport near it? That's me. I'm not saying I won't go to Baquete to visit. I'm not going to live there. And if I did, I'd probably see none of you guys. because I already know that most of you guys want to live in places that I don't want to live at. You know, but that's just me though. So this is the Old School Traveler telling you, I'm going to tell you the way it is, the way I see it, my experiences, not your experiences. And I hope your experiences is as great or better than mine. But mine's been great. So I really got no complaints. I know I'm going to buy a place, and I know I'm going to be in Panama City because I got to have an airport, because my main purpose is to travel, not to sit in a hotel room or a condo and read every day or want to build a farm. That's not me. That's not my life. I'm not a country boy. It's not my lifestyle. I like the hustle and bustle of the city as long as I can pick and choose what part and when to go to the city. As long as I can do that, I'm good. I don't need someone telling me, you love the city, you love it. No. You love that city. I live near big cities now, but I got 3 airports. So to me, that's important as a traveler. You know, so there are things that I got to have that you guys ain't got to have. I like houses. You know, I don't like apartments, but I can't have it always my way. But I can control the fact that I want to travel more than where I'm going to stay at, because I'm not going to be staying there year round, every day, all day. So I can give that part up, but I can't give up the part that I want to travel. It may be a day where I don't want to travel. And when that day comes, I'm not going to travel. But while I can, the hell with that. The Old School Traveler telling you about who should go to Panama, who should stay there, and who is Panama for. Peace.